You know, one of the reasons we've taken our time to define some of the words that I'm going to be using over and over and over again in this series is so that we're speaking the same language. See, when I say the word believe, and what you think about when you think about believe, maybe two completely different things. I can say, do you believe in Jesus? And you can say, yes, I believe in Jesus. But the question mark is, what are you really doing when you say, I believe in Jesus? Do you believe he existed as a historical figure? Do you believe that that he was fully man and fully God? And are those beliefs just simply thoughts you have in your mind? Because when we talk about believe in America, most of the time it's just a thought you have in your mind. You know, I believe the Cowboys will win next week. Of course, you're probably wrong. And I live in Dallas, so you know it's a good chance you're going to be wrong. Ever since firing Jimmy Jones, is that Jimmy Johnson? That shows you how much I know. So you don't trust me when it comes to football. I know absolutely nothing. All I know is the Cowboys are under the Jerry Jones curse, and they have been ever since he bought the team. And then when he was foolish enough to fire Jimmy Johnson, he flushed about 5 Super Bowls down the toilet, and I'd rather take a nap on Sunday. And so, you know, but if you say, I believe the Cowboys are going to win, what does that mean? You know, what does it mean to say, you know, I believe in you? So we have to define it, and biblical belief, and I hate to keep saying but biblical belief is far more than just mental assent to an idea. I have an idea and I think it's true, therefore I believe in it. Okay? I believe in the Easter Bunny. I believe in the Tooth Fairy. I believe in Santa Claus. There was a point in time where I did believe in Santa Claus. I thought he was real for a momentary point in time. But my parents had this issue with lying to me, so they couldn't maintain the charade too long. And they questioned the fact that they taught me about Santa Claus and taught me about Jesus at the same time. When I found out that Santa Claus wasn't real, would I question them about Jesus? And I find that to be an extremely valid point, and I adopted it in my own home. We looked at Santa Claus as someone who was fun, enjoyable, but we never taught him as if he were real, because I refused to lie to my children. And so it was very important for me, for my children to trust me, so I never lied to them. Even make-believe, I didn't lie to them. And so we had as much fun as humanly possible around Christmas time, even though I knew Jesus was born in September. You know, I'm not stupid. I know what it's all about. I mean, and I'm not one of these guys who runs around trying to throw ice water on everybody's Christmas celebration. I'm going to have fun with my kids in Christmas. We're going to honor the fact that Jesus was born. And then I'll tell them he was born in September, you know, and that's the truth. So I never lie to my children, and I won't lie to you. I promise you, I will not lie to you. But mental assent to an idea is not what I'm talking about when I say believe. So you know, I'm going to ask you, if you believe in Jesus, where's the action in your life that indicates that you believe in Jesus? Because if there's no action in your life, a step of faith in your life that shows that you really believe in him, then you don't believe in him. And so that's why I taught the ABCs of faith: an action based upon a belief sustained by confidence that God is real. Now I want to illustrate what I was talking about. I want to give you a verbal picture of what faith really looks like, what a relationship with the perfect Father really looks like. I like to see God like a big, extremely successful Texan. I don't know if you've ever lived in Texas or been around Texans. I moved here in the very early 80s. Took me about 10 years to figure this place out, and I'm pretty smart. But Texans are great people. I love Texans, and particularly the really entrepreneurial guys who are really kicking it out there. I've met billionaires while being here. I've seen people who you wouldn't know from anybody on the face of the earth who have huge businesses. They have all kinds of creative ideas, and they're driving a pickup truck. And some of them are driving really nice pickup trucks. And that's kind of the way I see God. He's got this F-250, you know, and it's got a pearl, you know, of course, God's got to have a pearl white pickup truck. You know, that's a good biblical color, pearl white. And he's got chrome all over it, but God would have a snorkel so that his pickup truck could go through deep waters. So when you go through deep waters, God is there in his pickup truck, going through those deep waters with you. And he's got his cowboy boots on, you know, because God is going to wear some alligator cowboy boots, you know. And he is a perfect father, and so he's the big guy. He's the big guy on campus. And so I'm walking down the road with my friends, and we're chatting, and we've got plans to go to the movies. We've got plans for the future. We're talking about those plans. We're acting on those plans. We're gonna go out and just have a good time and see a movie and hang out, and who knows what else we'll do. And God, my Father, pulls up in that pickup truck and rolls down the passenger side window and looks out that window and says, "Get in the truck, son. Get in the truck, son." Oh, okay, yeah. And my response to get in the truck, son, because I am a son, and I've been a son, and I've been down the road a little ways with this guy, is that I get in the truck. I don't make any excuses. I don't ask why I'm getting in the truck. I never ask why. I ask what's next. You know, God can explain the why when in his divine wisdom feels like I need to know the why. I don't need to know the why. Asking God why is futile. Okay? It doesn't matter why. He has a purpose for things going on in your life, and even things that are meant to destroy you. He will work into the mixture so that all things will work together for good for those who love the Father and are called according to his purposes. It didn't say for every Joe on earth, but for everyone who loves the Father and hears his heartbeat, and you're called according to his purposes, and you're willing to get in the truck when he says get in the truck, he'll work it all out eventually. You know, if you take one ingredient out of a loaf of bread and you throw it in your mouth, you might choke on it and die. And certainly it may not have a flavor that you want to eat, but you weave it into a multi-grain loaf and you bake it just right and slap some Irish butter on that thing, and it will melt in your mouth. It is the whole picture that's the most important. It's where you end up that's the most important. It's who you are at the end of eternity that is the most important. And so just know that when God says get in the truck, your best response is get in the truck. And your friends will say, "What are you doing? Why are you getting in the truck? We're going to the movies." You don't have to listen to the old guy. You know, you don't have to listen to the man. You know, he's just an old fool. Why would you listen to that voice? Why, you know, we can't even see him. Why would you listen to someone you can't see? But you get in the truck. You know, you get in the truck because he's dad. And so when I get in the truck, God, my Heavenly Father, looks at me and says, "Son, I promised you that I would give you a home. I'm going to give you a home." "Yes, Dad, I remember you promised me a home, and I believe for that home. Every day I remember that promise, and I asked for your fulfillment of that promise that I would have a home." Well, he's like, "Today's the day." "Wow, today's the day. Where are the keys? Where's the house?" No, you don't understand. And the father reaches back and he pulls out a set of blueprints and he puts them in my hand. And he said, we're going to go build you a home. Build me a home? Why don't you just give me one that's already made, one of these track homes down here, you know, slapped together, you know, tiny boxes on the hillside, made of ticky-tacky stuff, you know, just give me one of those. No, honey. This one's a custom home. This one has features in it you couldn't even imagine. This one's going to take some time. It's a little complicated to put it together. Oh, okay. So Dad drives me out, and I'm looking at these blueprints, and all of a sudden we're out, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Beautiful place. And there's a lot. And on that lot is a bunch of planks of wood. And I've got the plans in my hand. And I look over there and there's a bag of tools. Well, if you look at these hands, I don't use tools very often.
Give me your hands. You got city hands, Mr. Hooper.
I mean, my father was ordained minister by the time he was 20. Preached an average of 300 sermons a year until he was 80. And so I come from a long line of people who don't really know what to do with tools. And we don't rough up our hands very much. We rough up our brains, but we don't rough up our hands. Sorry, if you want Mr. Fix-It, go down the road. That's not me. And so I'm not a very handy guy. I'm handier than my dad was. I at least know this. If you're going to do a job, buy the proper tools to do the job, and it makes it a lot easier.
This is wrong tool. No, not good. No, never use this.
And so I have done some things that my dad never dreamed of doing with tools, but I'm not a tools guy. You know, I'm not the tool shed guy or the tool story guy. So I climb out of the truck, and there's this wood, and there's these tools, and God looks at me and says, what I want you to do is frame the foundation, and while you're framing the foundation, I will go get the cement, and I will bring it back, and when I get back, be ready, because we're going to pour the foundation, son, to your new house.